Hey guys, Corey and Joe with you on back-to-back Sundays.
Back-to-back Sundays, twice in a row. It's going to be a scorcher today.
Yeah.
Actually, for the rest of this week.
Oh, God.
Make that the first part of this video. Is, hey, if you're coming in all this week, just be ready.
Drink water, please.
It's 8 o'clock and it's already almost 80 degrees.
Yeah, it's warm in here.
Yeah, it's thick.
And it lasts through Friday, so yeah, definitely gets the hydration on. Just know it's going to pass. Hopefully this is the last little fake summer.
I like it. I want 100 over 30 because I just know that 30 degrees is coming.
Yeah, well, at Farmer's Almanac, I think they're predicting a slightly colder than average winter, and then
what does that mean? It's usually 0 in January, so is it going to be -5? I don't know.
So last year we had a mild winter. Farmer's Almanac is predicting a slightly colder than regular winter, so by that logic it would be colder than last winter, which was mild. But then the Weather Channel meteorologist teams are saying
bad
that it's going to be a warmer than regular winter. So basically,
all right, farmers and meteorologists, we're going to have a knockdown throwout, and we're going to find out.
I know this is groundbreaking information, but they have no idea what the weather's going to do.
They never know.
They don't. Honestly, they're going to be surprised what happens later today.
Yeah.
Love you, meteorologists. I'm sure you're 1% of our views.
I don't want to fight you.
I guess today we're going to talk about reasons we hear to not do CrossFit.
And those reasons are nonsense.
Yeah. So I made a post this week on the corporate page. Got lots of shares, and as I do, I read the comments to see if there's any interest or anybody I need to try to follow up with or whatever. And of course, the same caricature comes out of the woodwork. Mr. I'm never going to do CrossFit.
Yeah.
Never has a reason. Just CrossFit's dumb. I'm not going to do CrossFit. I'm speaking about one or two people specifically here, but I'm sure if you've ever posted about CrossFit, you know who I'm talking about. We've all gotten at it.
The same few people.
Yeah.
And not
they played high school football 15 years ago. They've got a beer belly now. They're not doing much.
It's the same closed-minded. It's the same person in high school you would argue with about they would argue about anything.
Yeah.
You'd be like, hey man, studies show that it's almost impossible for there not to be intelligent life in the universe, and they'd be like, nope, just Earth, it's just us. Or if you this song, they've already heard it and it's overplayed. It's the same dude that's always going to argue with you.
Yeah.
And this could also be a lady dude.
Yeah.
This is just the same person.
Yeah. And so I want to be very clear. Trust me, we're not trying to get you in the CrossFit gym.
No.
And we've gotten a couple of you, and you've turned out to be okay, and that's great. We've gotten a couple of you, and you've been who we thought you were, and you're no longer here. So listen, dudette, if you don't want to try CrossFit, cool.
But get out.
But don't let that be don't be the I'm not trying CrossFit person. Go and do what you do.
Yeah.
Just don't be anti something.
Yeah.
Be what you are. And we're cool.
Be like the guy that plays frisbee golf, not the guy that just hates CrossFit.
Yeah.
Or the guy that plays regular golf. If your identity is
the
not liking,
not
doing CrossFit, you need to work on yourself.
And if you've heard me talk about a lot of things, you've heard me say, I don't want it to be defined by what I'm not. I want to be defined by what I am.
Yeah.
And so that's just carrying this over. Just don't be anti-CrossFit guy. Okay, you don't want to try it? Cool. Have a great life. No harm, no foul.
If you decide to change your mind,
walk into a CrossFit gym and find out that we're super welcoming and are willing to help.
What are the so we talked about it a second ago. What are the 3 main reasons to not do CrossFit, Joe?
So the 3 main reasons I hear not to do CrossFit.
Yes.
So kipping is dumb.
Right.
Which will lead into the second one of it's going to injure you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third that I constantly hear is I don't want to get bulky.
Right. Which I think we did. Did we do a video?
We've done a video on.
I think
bulky.
we did a video on all of this.
Yeah.
But just a recap on it.
So the kipping is dumb. Listen, if you've done CrossFit or you hate CrossFit, you've seen an embarrassing kipping video.
Yes.
And a person looking like a fish out of water, flopping around, looking like an idiot. Yeah, they did. Yes, that's kipping, and yes, they look like an idiot.
But like, and we're gonna get into this. Like, have you ever seen anyone do anything new? Like,
yeah.
If you look at like Olympic.
Have you
ice
seen
skating,
LeBron play basketball and randomly fall down for a flop?
Flop, over dramatic, and like you take someone like that's an Olympic ice skater and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But then if you watch someone who, like, if you watch me, I don't think I've been on ice skates maybe like 3 times in my life. I'm gonna get out there and you're like, that guy looks like an idiot.
Ice skating's dumb.
Ice skating's stupid because look at this guy. Like, you're taking someone who either A, is being a goober on purpose, or B, doesn't know how to do the skill yet.
Yeah.
And you're making,
and is rushing it.
Yeah, I would say you're making like this just quick judgment on the entire CrossFit community because you saw someone who was maybe not able to kip, who didn't know how yet.
And I would just challenge you, go look at like the gymnastics course videos, actually teaching kip and control, and how beautiful it looks and how much goes into teaching that skill.
It's like
anybody can post a video on the internet, guys.
Yeah, and you can find a video of anyone looking dumb doing anything.
Yeah, literally anything.
Easy.
Gym fails. They happen in Globo gyms all the time. Does that mean you shouldn't go to a Globo gym?
Right.
Like, I mean, you shouldn't, but that's not the why.
Gym fails. Like, I've seen powerlifters do things. I've seen bodybuilders. I've seen people fall off their bike at Orange Theory. Like, you can find dumb stuff anywhere.
Yeah. So to sit there and say kipping's dumb, and I'll follow that up with also, okay, don't do kipping.
Don't kip. Yeah. No.
You know, I've had let's say 5 people come in the gym and say, I will never do kipping. Okay, cool.
That's the conversation.
And then it'll lead into, hey, we do have high volume pull-up day today. Basically, for our kipping folks, I'd have them done in 3 sets. So I want you to do 3 kind of like 90% effort, strict pull-up sets, and then I want you to move on. It's scaled. You're going to have a great workout. Ready, break, let's go.
Yeah, that's it. That might be where people get this like stigma is like, they think they have to come in here and do the workout like we do the workout. Dude, if your goals aren't to be competitive in the sport, like if you don't ever want to learn how to kip, cool, man. You're just going to get good.
I do believe you're leaving maximal power output.
You're leaving meat on the bone.
And that is our overarching goal, is to increase power output by a variety of ways. But if you don't want to do it,
you don't have to.
You don't have to.
And I'd say, like, if you did everything else that we do in this gym, other than kipping, you're still going to be stronger, be faster, look better without clothes on.
Have more fun.
You're going to have more fun. Like, kipping is not the end-all, be-all. If you don't want to do it, don't let that keep you out of a CrossFit gym.
So I laugh about that. And every sport has their dumb things they do.
If you
and it's people kind of showing off. And honestly, some of our top athletes, and this is the same in every sport, they get a little bored.
Yeah.
So they do stupid human tricks.
Yeah. Like,
and then you see it and you're like, oh, that's what happens in a CrossFit gym? No.
It's like a video of like me doing my outside the hand toes to bar and someone being like, well, that's stupid. Yeah, it is stupid.
But we're in here 10 hours a day.
Yeah, we get bored.
Sometimes we joke around and do stuff.
We do.
And
tried to pistol squat on a barbell the other day. I probably look like an idiot. But like, you try things. It's fun.
We're not going to tell you to do that.
No, I would never.
That's not what class happens.
I would actually encourage you not to do it because I almost blew my ankle out.
I encouraged him not to do it. I think probably while it was happening.
Yeah, several people told me not to, but I did it anyways. Huh? No, I didn't go to depth. It wasn't a good rep. Get out of our video.
So item 1, kipping's dumb. Okay. I would challenge you to go and maybe I'll even in the comments post a link to a beautiful kipping video and watching people teach it.
Kipping and butterfly done right is
and understanding that. It's gorgeous. There's muscular activation all over the place. It's not just a way to hump your body up over the bar. It is a way to create an amazing amount of power
and get so much work done.
Quickly. In less time. And again, that's our whole goal, but it's optional.
Yeah.
And again, of those people that said they never wanted kip, I'd say about half of them decided they wanted to kip. And you guess what? As soon as they told me they wanted to kip, I started teaching them how to kip.
Yep. Okay. So segueing into reason 2, did they get injured?
Not from that I'm aware of.
Yeah. So I do want to say, like, I didn't start CrossFit until 2017, even though I had heard about it way earlier, and that was my reason. It was because I'm gonna get injured.
Yeah.
At that point in time, I already had I always gonna have a crusty shoulder, but I didn't have the tools or resources to address my crusty shoulder, so I just avoided things, pretty much everything overhead.
Yeah.
So in my eyes, I think the first time I walked into a CrossFit gym, I walked in and there were 2 really buff shirtless girls doing squat snatches, and I watched them for maybe 15 seconds, and then I walked right back out of the gym because I was like, nope, I would literally die if I tried that. And early 2007, 2010, like, it was a little Wild West.
Yeah.
And there were some injuries here and there, but the biggest thing when it comes to people saying stuff like, "Oh, CrossFit will get you injured," is do you have an intelligent coach that prioritizes your safety? Because no, if that's the case. And 2, are you letting your ego get you hurt? Yeah. Those are kind of the 2 things I always come to when people tell me that CrossFit is dangerous.
Yeah. And CrossFit is dangerous. Honestly, some of the people that parrot that, I'm just like, where did you get the information? Because I know you're not reading like
studies.
You're not reading studies. You're not reading journals. Like, and honestly, you're not really in the fitness community. And again, a lot of times that I see it perpetuated now, and I'm just like, how did you even get the notion that CrossFit hurts you? Mm-hmm. And I think that honestly, they're just coming from a place of, I can't do it, so you shouldn't be able to do it either.
Yeah,
and
it looks scary.
And my mom, or my stepmom, or whatever, will comment on my videos, and they're like, I hope you're being safe. And it's like, really, Mom? I'm a professional. I've been doing this for years. And listen, have I gotten injured doing CrossFit? Yes. Yeah. I have. I'm currently injured now. But you want to know like a fun little story? The same injury I have was originally happened playing Frisbee golf.
Yeah. So that, and like...
I re-aggravated an injury that I had surgery on playing Frisbee golf. Yeah. Activity will increase injury risk. It's just a foundational law.
It's an unfortunate truth. Like, and if anybody's read any studies on sports injuries or anything like that, you would see like CrossFit's no higher than any of them. I actually think it's a little bit lower than a couple.
I think it's like lower than soccer. I think the only one that's technically lower is bodybuilding.
Yeah. And
for physical exercise and sport.
I've told people before, like, when I get injured, and usually my injuries are like little tweaks. Mm-hmm. Little tweaks, that didn't feel very good. It's going to need a couple weeks to rest. Usually when I get injured, like for real, like, oh shoot, like this is a problem, it's outside of the gym. Yeah. I think of the one time I actually like injured myself in the gym. It was when I blew out my ankle doing sandbag burpee box get overs, which like we saw in the games. Yeah. Probably not a great idea. Be mindful of those. Yeah. But that comes with anything. If you have intelligent coaches teaching you how to do these movements the right way, you might get some tweaks, you might get some sprains, you might get some little irritations. Mm-hmm. But as far as like colossal injuries, like we don't see that a lot. And
I think I've seen like a blown ACL here, and it was a bro dude that was never going to do CrossFit. Yeah. He came in and he tried to do, I think, a clean and jerk at 315 that he had no business doing. I was not on site at the time. One of my former coaches, who's no longer here, in part because
wasn't me.
He encouraged dumb shit like that. And he had no business lifting, so he was just ego lift, and he blew out his ACL. And that's one of the like really bad ones. We had a guy tear his pec trying a new skill. I'll just be honest, I learned from that what happened that went wrong, and I make sure that we don't repeat that.
Yeah. How to shut it down.
It's unfortunate, but he stayed training and the entire time.
He's good.
And I'll also say with my shoulder injury, like it also re-aggravated it playing volleyball and CrossFit. Like I didn't have balance, but when I tore it playing Frisbee golf, I had to have surgery. I couldn't move my arm. Now, because of CrossFit, I can still do everything. There's a slight presence of pain, and I'm trying to intentionally not do it even though I can, so I can get some additional healing. And CrossFit has allowed me to, for what was previously a year out of using my shoulder, to be just like hey, you can still use your shoulder, but there's a little bit of pain.
Yeah, just don't be silly about it.
And so, to me, that's where the little minor stuff. I dislocated my thumb, but honestly, that's a genetic, well, not even genetic thing, but that's just smashed my thumbs in cars so many times in my life, which doesn't say a lot about me, but
improving coordination at CrossFit.
I found better habits and honestly made me hook grip more. And to leave my thumbs at less risk of dislocating, so that was an improvement. But yeah, so the injury thing, I don't have like a great bow to put on this. It's just simply that CrossFit is inherently no more dangerous than any other sport. If you listen to your coaches and check your ego, I would argue that it's less dangerous than any other sport except for maybe bodybuilding.
The percentage of injury wasn't percentage of injury of people that check their ego at the door and listen to their coach.
Yeah.
It was just overall.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to say some of that was...
Well, and also the fabricated study that we won a lawsuit in over court was self-reported, and I think they even started with X amount of people, and then if they didn't show up to their appointment, they counted it as an injury. So it was people stopped showing up.
Yeah.
That would be like me saying people that don't show up for an appointment with me are automatically dead.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot more deaths in the world because a
lot
lot
of
of people no show. So it
unfortunate.
was inherently flawed. It was a poor study.
Yeah.
It just absolutely terrible, which is why we won and got damages.
Yeah. So
unfortunately, the damage
studies,
is still continuing through, and that's the poor part of that. But the reality is this isn't going to put you at a risk of injury any more than any real day-to-day activity that requires effort.
Yeah. Walking down the stairs.
Yeah. So, and then I would argue, as you get older, we probably will have studies that come out that show CrossFitters are way more resilient.
Oh, yeah.
In their 50s, 60s, and 70s, and that people that did CrossFit in their 30s, 40s, and 50s have lower incidences of
higher quality of life,
lower hip injuries, lower falling down in the shower. You're going to see that data come out eventually.
Yeah.
On people that they're studying now, and longevity studies that we just can't possibly have because we haven't been doing it long enough. But there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to see quality of life improve for 50, 60, 70 plus year olds that did CrossFit. And one of the things we were originally going to talk about was Lane Norton had posted about it. I'm going to mispronounce the word, but sarcopenia or whatever.
Okay, I don't know. If you want science, go to a different video.
Yeah, essentially muscle wasting. And I'm sure you've heard that your muscles just fall off a cliff after you're 40.
Yeah, once you're 40, and your muscle mass is...
Your life's over,
you're
dead, you might as well just give up.
Just lay down.
Play video games.
But it turns out...
Turns out, right?
Not all the way true.
So for even non-actively trained...
Yeah.
But just maintenance, it was 0.5% of muscle decrease. Per year, and that was for people that weren't training, and that it was possible to have the basically exact same rate of growth as long as you were training, no matter what age you were.
Yeah, and there was somewhere in here, I pulled up the post. He said even people in their like 90s, when they added strength training in, gained a significant amount of muscle mass.
Yeah.
I don't know what significant is, but at 90,
Anything significant.
basically you've been told, or like what I've seen your entire life, at 90, like you're a decrepit zombie, like you might as well just be done.
Yep.
Where now, like, they have studies that are like, oh shoot, like you can actually get kind of beefy even at 90.
Yeah.
And man, the biggest thing was your lifestyle. And the reason we see that hard fall off at 40 is because usually people's sleep, nutrition, recovery, all that kind of starts effort.
They don't even want to go train anymore because they've convinced themselves
they've been told for so long
that their life is over.
Right. So, but this, like, they've got studies now.
Yeah.
They've got studies that show, like, dude, that's not the case. If you keep up your recovery, your sleep, your nutrition, your exercise, all that, like, no, you don't fall off. You can still build. You can still, and I've told.
And spoiler, if you're in your 20s, keep up with your sleep, recovery, and nutrition,
oh my gosh.
and you're going to be amazing.
You won't even have to worry about it. I mean, you got, you know. And I've told anyone that'll listen, I'm 34 now. I know it's not very ladylike for me to be spewing my age out there.
Yeah.
And some people are like, well, that's not very old. It's not, but like compared to where I was at 24, which some would argue that 34 is older than 24. I don't know.
Yeah.
By 10 years.
It's debatable.
At 24, I was worse off. I felt terrible. My shoulder felt awful. Like I felt bad. And now 10 years later.
Yeah.
When I'm supposed to be dropping hard, like, I feel better.
Yep.
My shoulder doesn't keep me up at night. Like, I'm stronger and faster. I look better with my shirt off at 34 than I did at 24.
Ow!
What? Get out of here, you nasty. She's gross.
So, yeah, just, it's not too late to start. The earlier you start, the bigger your hedge against decrepitude. It's our whole thing.
But start.
Start.
That's the big thing.
And so the third pillar of why I don't want to do
Forgot
CrossFit.
about the third pillar.
And man, we're preaching to the choir here to any gym owner that's listening, but I just don't want to get bulky.
I don't want to get bulky.
Oh man.
Oh goodness. Where do we even start?
So
wait, I want to get bulky.
Yeah. So the two people that we hear I don't want to get bulky from, and they're women.
You got the runners, like guys that are runners. I've heard that a few times.
I guess
it's small. It's a small percentage, but I've heard.
Let's not even say women. I hear it from rail thin people, or with all due respect, people that are already bulky.
Yeah.
That is you walk in, I don't want to get bulky archetype.
Yeah.
There are exceptions to every rule. I'm not saying everybody that is rail thin or everybody that is already a little bulky makes those statements. I'm saying that when we hear that statement,
that's usually where it comes
it's
from.
generally from that subset of people.
Yep.
So,
and when they say bulky, what I always assume is they've watched probably the CrossFit Games or seen a documentary.
Yeah.
And they see the elite level athletes, and they're worried that if they come in here for a week, they're going to wake up 1 week later and look like those athletes.
Yeah. If it was easy, they wouldn't be the tip of the spear. Is about all I can really say there.
I feel like we look pretty normal.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a normal dude, although I'm pretty sure just not having a beer belly puts me in the top 5% of fit people over 40.
At this point, we might be at the top 1%.
Yeah, just by not having a beer belly. I think I saw a study someplace about that.
Yeah.
Andrew Garapino or something like that said that basically if you are over 40 or maybe it was 35 and don't have a beer belly,
one more year,
you're in like the top 2%.
Oh, I just gotta hang on for
fittest people in the world. So yeah, maybe we're not normal, but like we're probably pretty normal CrossFitters.
Yeah.
I don't think you would call us bulky. Maybe if you saw his calves. But, and my calves are tiny, and we train together in the same gym. It's genetics. It's what you eat. Arnold Schwarzenegger has this thing, and I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. People used to always come up to him and be like, "Oh man, you look amazing. That's great for you, but I never want to look like that." And he says, "Don't worry, you won't."
Yeah.
It takes a lot of effort to look like a CrossFit Games athlete.
Time, food. You have to intentionally.
Yeah, you don't wake up and get like that.
There's the thing where it's like, just because you drive your car doesn't mean you're accidentally going to turn into a race car.
Oh yeah. Like saying I'm afraid to get, or that it's a meme, and it's like saying I don't want to start CrossFit because I don't want to get bulky is the same as like I don't want to drive my car because I don't want to turn into a NASCAR driver.
Yeah, like it does. Like you don't worry, man. And what we see is
you can turn into a NASCAR driver by driving your car. But you're going to need to hire a coach. You're going to need to get some modifications done to your car.
You're going to have to learn how to become a NASCAR driver.
Yeah, like it's not going to happen overnight.
You don't accidentally have that happen.
Yeah.
And like if you come in here and you start working out, like usually
and your body starts trending a way that you don't want it to go.
Yeah.
Guess what we can do?
We can change it.
We can change it real easily.
And one of my things, like when you meet people and they're like, "Oh well, I'm happy with everything, but I just want to like target this." Just right, it's usually like right here. They want to just specifically target this area, and I have to be like, "Hey man, like
it's not really how it works.
Wish I could, but this is not really how that works."
Yeah.
But what people do, like they come in here, they're like, "Man, I don't want to get bulky." And we're like, "Hey, if they do come into the gym and trust us, they'll do this for months." And they're like, "Man, I actually just feel more tone."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, weird how, we've been saying that the whole freaking time, and we guaranteed you wouldn't get bulky, and now you look
amazing, yeah.
Way not bulky." And
yeah, so I wish getting bulky was that easy. And I think you kind of touched on this. People say bulky, what they really mean is muscular.
Yeah.
And they don't want to say it. And listen. It's everybody's impression on what they want and what they want to have. And you can look at some of the CrossFit Games athletes, and they've all heard it, the women, "Oh, you look like a man."
Not true.
It's not true. One, you're looking at them on a literal competition where their muscles are at peak power output. They don't look like that day to day.
No.
They are in peak physical shape for their competition, and they're under heavy duress. And also, and they'll be the first ones to tell you about it, they don't fucking care about your opinion.
No.
You don't want to look like that? Don't look like that.
Don't look. And
but imagine those same CrossFit ladies going, "I don't want to look like that fat piece of shit."
Yeah, I don't want to look like that guy. He looks.
Oh
he
my
looks
God, the hate we would get. But
goodness.
you can fit shame us.
Right. But you couldn't do.
But you can't do any other shaming.
No other shaming.
But shame on you for being fit and using your body to the absolute capabilities.
And that's where it comes in. Like when people are like, "Oh, I don't want to get bulky," and I'm like, "Why?"
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know, because it's gross. No, it's not. Like, well.
And again, you can have that opinion. You are certainly entitled to it. Yeah. But you're not going to accidentally get bulky.
You won't accidentally.
It takes a lot of effort
I've
for
been
any of those people
trying to
get
look
bulky like that.
Since I started working out, I've been trying.
Yeah, and some of you may genetically have it easier to accomplish than others. But regardless, it takes work to be able to get to that level. It's not accidental to get up there. And just circling back to the very first complaint from the I used to be an athlete, fake alpha male, right? Do you really not want to look like those games athletes? If that's
why I started.
If that's your personality
CrossFit,
and where you're coming from, and you're gonna say I don't want to do CrossFit, dude.
I saw the games.
Look
and I
at
was like,
some of the guys.
Look at some of the girls.
And tell me you don't want to look like that.
Lies.
And actually mean it.
Lies.
Liar.
Well, and that's the cool thing about like every comp I've ever been to. Like I've seen people and I was like, damn.
You may not want to do the hard work it takes to get there.
I guarantee you won't. But you look at the competition floor. anywhere.
Yeah.
And when my dad actually came and watched one of our comps, and he was looking around, he's like, it's wild. Like, there's every shape and size out there.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing is like, yeah, you might not want to look like this athlete, but like look over here at this athlete. Like, you could look like that.
Yeah.
Don't worry, my dude. You're not set up to look like that guy. You don't have to worry about that.
The last 2 games, women's CrossFit champions, Tia Toomey.
Yep.
And Laura Horvath. Mm-hmm. Pretty different archetypes.
Yeah, I'll say that's a very different shape.
And both have now been defined as the fittest woman in the world. Yeah. 366 days apart. Yeah. Right?
Not too far. Not too
so
shabby.
There's, your body can do remarkable things. Your body's going to look the way that your body does.
But it won't accidentally get bulky.
It's not accidentally going to just come to that level. Oh, man, if it was only that easy.
If it was only that easy. We wouldn't be here spitting this video at you. We'd be making trillions.
Yeah. So I guess here are my asks. 1, like, subscribe, share the video.
Do it.
We like making these videos. We clearly have fun. I do wish more than 30 people watched or engaged with us.
Well, I don't know. Share it to your Facebook page or something. There's some people out there.
Oh, we'll get some people riled up.
Yeah. There's some people out there that need to see this video. Just send it to them. Send it to Kyle. Send it to that guy.
The other ask is, if you don't want to do CrossFit, don't do CrossFit.
Just shut up.
Yeah. Just like go do what you do want to do, but just don't define yourself by what you don't want to do. Like,
and when all your friends look better than you with their shirts off, and you eventually want to come start this, then
just
come
check
back.
your ego and come in, and we'll be more than happy to have you. Also, if you can think of any reasons that you don't do CrossFit, you're kind of interested in CrossFit, but you don't start because of X. I'd love to hear X.
Yeah, talk to us.
I've heard, I guess I've heard people say they're intimidated. I get that, and I honestly get that, and that's going to be anything. You've built it up in your mind that either you can't do it, or the people, or blah, 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 blah. Most of the gyms I've been into, the fitter the people are, the cooler they are.
Except for me.
Now, I've been in some gyms that, honestly, I was just like, "Whew, I don't ever want to be in here." And you're gonna find those places. That's gonna happen in every community ever. You go to churches, it can be all the same style of church, but you're gonna find some that their community is just closed off, and that's what they want. That's their stuff, and you're gonna find that in gyms as well. So keep looking for a gym if you don't feel right at home when you walk in.
Come to this one.
Honestly, like, if you want to be closed off into yourself, we're probably not the place for you.
No, we're pretty.
Oh, I mean, we like each other for the most part here. We want to talk and hang out, and
I don't like that.
we want you. We're not going to kick you out right after your workout. Like,
no, we want you to hang around.
Yeah,
we'll probably talk with you.
Yeah,
you might be trying to leave, and we'll talk to you. We do that sometimes.
So, and again, that may not be your thing, and that's
all right.
That's cool.
You can find a gym for anything.
Yeah, you can find your people in your town.
15,000 affiliates.
Yeah. So
you can find a gym.
So yeah, those are my asks. Engage with us. Let us know what you want us to talk about. If you haven't started CrossFit and you have a reason why, we'd love to hear it to maybe get you on the other side of trying it.
Change your mind, man. Coming out.
Just have an open mind. Try it out. Try all of them out that are close to you. We said it in our video about you saw CrossFit on the games. Go to CrossFit.com, find the couple of affiliates for you, message them, make appointments.
Try them all.
Yep.
And if you want to sponsor our videos, because we reach so many, let us know.
Yep. All right. Thanks. Have a great week. Stay hydrated if you're in Columbia, Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
Well, stay hydrated if you're anywhere.
Yeah. I'll say definitely if you're in Columbia, Missouri. It's going to be hot.